10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, everybody. Sorry that I was away for so long. Had to take care of some business. Having technical difficulties. Of course, I'm not that technical anyway. But we're back. And I hate to say it, but it is Monday, the 11th day of December 2017. As this year just marches to an end. I don't know about anybody else, but I couldn't be more grateful. But I'd like to welcome y'all. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the evening. Things have changed just a little bit for me. So is the show going to change a little bit for me. We're going to do things a little differently. I didn't start off very well last time. Didn't get a very good reaction to the show last time. And most of the time I take that as people weren't impressed. Well, not to really have to impress you, but I'd like followers. I'd like an audience. I'd like feedback. I'd like $1 million. Odds are I won't get the $1 million. Maybe I can convince you guys that I'm worth looking into, giving some ideas to. So I'm going to start tonight as getting to know me, Brian, the host, the one that...
And now, here's your host.
That would be me, ladies and gentlemen, or germs. Whichever term suits you better. I want to give a shout out to the people that do listen all over the place, I've noticed. I didn't know they picked this up in other countries, but they actually do. But to High Ridge, our co-host, Diane McKempson, she listens when we're on. Can't figure out how to get her included so you can hear her voice, but she's there. And she loves music, and she loves people. She loves me, and I love her. I come from a very rough, dysfunctional family. I come from a family where drinking, drugs, lying, stealing, everything seemed to be okay in their eyes. Until somebody did it to them. Then it was wrong. So the old double standard. Your parents, you're always told to obey, respect your mom and dad. You're always told not to talk back to people that are older than you. Okay, that makes sense. Those are some good teachings. Live by them. I encourage it. But let's just ponder that for a second, because although that is what it says, that's what the Lord Jesus Christ said. So how could it be wrong if God said it? God didn't make it up. He wasn't trying to kill ink or airspace. But how do you get around something like that? See, I grew up in a place where that seemed acceptable, and that seemed okay. It did. It doesn't help when your family is one way in front of somebody and another way when they're outside or we're not around them. I'm not saying all parents are like that. There's a lot of great parents out there. A lot of fine, loving parents that have donated everything they can to, raising their child. And I admire you for it. I do. I would like it better if it wasn't in such a violent society. We've had the worst death rate this year ever known to man, ever recorded in history. That's not good, people. I'm hopefully 2018, which I do believe with my heart, and I believe there's a lot of people out there that do believe the same thing, that 2018 will bring better, bigger, brighter things to pass. But in order for them to bring them to pass, we have to get out of this, I'd like to say rut, but I really don't know what to say for it. But I come from a dysfunctional family. I wasn't with my parents. My mom and dad divorced when I was real young. We were living with my dad's mom at the time in California. It's hard. It's hard when your dad's drunk. It's even harder when you find out your mom's a drug addict. And it's even worse yet. It gets even worse yet, people. Because that's not the worst of it. Both my parents found their addiction to be far more important than their own kids. Me and my brother. God rest his soul. Unfortunately, most of my family's passed away now. But I never got a chance to know my real family. Who they were, what did they stand for, what were their values. I never knew all that. Which made it even harder because I couldn't understand where they were at. I didn't know anything about my mom's childhood except that she was the only child. I didn't know too much about my dad except the fact that he was adopted. Although that does leave a whole new aspect of this wide open. I could have other family out there from my dad being adopted. And you're right, I could. And although I have a general idea where to start, and I do mean general, I could do it. You're right. Unfortunately, bereaved on a budget, it doesn't always call to be looked those things up. And don't get me wrong, I love my family. I do. And I miss them. But you know what's made it easy? Having good, true friends. Having good, true Christian friends. People that look at you and can accept you for you. And encourage you to move on. And grow. Not just in your body, not just your mind, but your spirit and your soul. You've got to feed the spirit. Without feeding the spirit, what are you doing? You know what they say? You want to be a doctor? Put a doctor stuff in. You want to be a pharmacy tech? You go to school for it. You learn about it. You want to be a police officer? You go to the academy. You know? You want to be in the military? You join. You go to their boot camps. 6 or 8 weeks was a rugged training. On all types of situations, areas, to emulate war, to emulate you battling the enemy, which unfortunately there's a lot of those people out there, and a lot of those countries out there right now. My condolences and my hearts and my prayers are with California. They have been devastated by humongous wildfires. Many, many homes were destroyed. Many homes. Thousands and beyond thousands and thousands of acres burned. It's not even recognizable anymore. And the governor out there, although, I can't really disagree with what he's doing and how he wants to do it. But although it was at one time California was going to go down as the brokest state ever. And was not going to be able to recover from their debt. Was not going to be able to recover from any of the money they lost. Somehow this governor has figured out a way to do it. Although it still doesn't seem right, but it fits the criteria of being the most expensive state in the continental United States, outside of Hawaii and New York. If you don't believe me, Google it. It's hard, I know. It's hard if you don't come from a family that has money. It's hard when you go to school and you say you're getting an education. You did learn things, you did. But back in those days, they never had the problem of school shootings. They didn't have the problem of classroom being overfilled with students. They didn't have that issue way back then. They didn't have it when my grandmothers went to school. My aunt worked in the school. She worked in the office. Although she loved her job. It only lasts so long, though. You can only do it for so many years before you have to retire. And unfortunately, back then, they're enforced retirement at the retirement age. It's not like now in the 21st century when we can work long past that. Because the life expectancy is longer than it was. Of course, there's a lot more techniques. There's a lot more breakthroughs. And that's wonderful. If you like being a lab rat. Which part of me says that's good. The other part of me says it's bad. What do you think? I know you guys have an opinion. There's something that's got to spark your interest. Although I don't mind sitting here playing music all the time. I don't mind trying to find things to talk about, but you don't seem to be interested. I implore you to give me a chance. My name is Brian Douglas Hammond. I currently reside in San Antonio, Texas. I've lived here before. I was in Missouri for 8 years, 9 years, whatever. My lady co-host, the love of my life, the delightful one, whatever you want to call her, is fine. She'll be here soon. She's coming. We were kind of hoping her parents would come, but I think they've kind of changed their mind. I hope they change it back. Because I do not believe in nursing homes, and unfortunately, time will not turn back, and they will become younger. They will only get older. No, they're not over the hill. No, they're not that old, but they're old enough where your body kind of feels it kind of feels like you're old, and unfortunately, that does happen. Doesn't mean they're going to die tonight or tomorrow or next week, but none of us know when we're going to die. That's entirely up to the only person that knows that. The one that created us. The one that created the world in 7 days. Actually 6, because he used the 7th day to rest. That's why they call Sunday Sabbath. But that's not important either. It is the month of December. We've already been through Thanksgiving and put on 20 pounds, most of us. I'm sure. At least. Probably have to walk to Canada to get it all off. But that goes probably into a lot of New Year's resolutions, if there's any. And if there is, I'm sure you guys probably try to stick to them, but as much as I would. Yeah, right. It makes no difference. Just remember one thing, people. We only have one chance on this earth. Although we'll live on in heaven. We'll be restored to our normal selves in heaven. We won't be old. We won't have aches, pains, arthritis, heart problems, brain aneurysms, tumors, cancers, or anything like that. Because that's what the Lord did over 2,000 years ago when He was nailed to the cross. When He died for our sins. So we may live a righteous, pure life. So we may walk free of all those things that bind us and hold us back. We can't do that anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the way. It's time to stand up and say, I'm sick of this, I want change. The only other way you can get change, if you don't want to make enough noise for Congress and Washington to hear, is get down on your knees and pray. Get on your knees and pray, people. It's not hard. Although, I'm one to talk. I don't pray every day, but I do pray. Not your average prayer. I don't get down on my knees all the time. That's just the way it was always told. You can pray. You can have a conversation with God, as if you were talking to somebody. Do it while you're in the shower. Do it while you're driving to work. Do it in the evening time when you're sitting around watching television. Take a moment and do it as a family. It says when one or more pray that it shall be done in the midst. One or more that agree. I know I would agree in a heartbeat. And I know my friend Diane would agree in a heartbeat too. Fiance, sorry. Her mom and dad would certainly agree. I know a lot of people that would agree with what I'm saying. I'm not trying to push religion. I'm not trying to preach. Although, don't shout me down now, because I am preaching real good. I haven't heard that saying in a while either. That's not why I'm here. I want you guys to understand, no matter how you're feeling, or how far down you may think you are, or how much you may think you've